Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen this man before. Seen this man for years. The head coach of Coppin State University, men and women's track and field, now is Carl Hicks. Well, Coach, obviously, every time we do this, there's one saying, and you know how I feel about that. Please let them know.
Well, here at Coppin State, we work hard and only have one goal, and that's to get to the national championship. We state that in August once we arrive, and we work hard every day to try to achieve that goal. And right now, we're one step closer. Now we achieve that goal. Our next goal is to be NCAA All-American.
And also, Coppin State University track and field, you've always said is the second
Greatest story ever told. And the reason why I say that is that we overcome a lot of adversity here at Coppin State, for resources and name recognition and many other adversities that stand in our way. But some way, somehow, by the grace of the good Lord, we found a way to persevere.
And of course, if Coppin State's the second greatest story,
what's the greatest story? Man, I say that all the time, and that is Jesus Christ himself is the greatest story ever told. So no other story can beat that. So I always talk to us, and that's for years and years. I say, well, he's the greatest story. Coppin State's going to be the track and field is going to be the second greatest story.
And Coach Hicks, let's get into that second greatest story. This year, you took over the women.
Yes.
This year, I know that had to be a little bit more of a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, it was a challenge. It was a fun challenge to have. One goal is to keep the good thing about it, kept getting better and better every week, and responding to the challenge and buying into what philosophy is. And I'm looking forward for next year for them to really explode and to come into their own as a women's program.
And Coach, as for the guys, you have two. The sophomore sensations that qualified for NCAA Nationals. Coach, obviously, as you said in the beginning of the video, that's the goal. Get them to Nationals.
And I'm so glad that I'm so very proud of these young men that qualified. They worked hard. They deserve it. Actually, my whole team worked hard. My whole team put a lot of effort in to try to get to that championship. We came up short in the 4x1. We had a little setback on some injuries that should have been back, but nevertheless, those guys still did an outstanding job for the year 2017 and 18.
Especially Joseph Amoa. He's gone through the lot his first couple years at Coppin, coming like whiskers close, and then you know in this track and field game, the differences can be hundredths of a second, even thousands of a second as he experienced.
As I say, the margin for error is very thin. Joseph, this is his second time around the regionals. His first year last year was a great experience for him, a wake-up call. He just learning how the game was played in the regionals and how serious they took it and how determined they were. And this year he took on that same attitude going into the regionals, and he was determined to get to the national championship, and that's what he did.
Aaron Lewis, he's been blazing most of this season. He's won some races. I know I seen him at Towson doing some damage weeks ago, and
like Aaron came in the spring of last year, and he had some growing pains that he had to go through as far as getting stronger and getting improvement on his technique, and which he worked very hard this season to do, and we're reaping the benefits of it right now.
Coach, you've had experience of taking them into nationals and going through the rigors of all that. What have you told these guys right now about what they're in for?
Well, it's quite simple. We celebrated making out of 48. We came home and celebrated for making it to nationals. And for the first day of practice, okay, now it's time to get NCAA All-American now. And that's now our goal. That's now our determination now. That's our motivation right there. And and as you see in the past, we have NCAA All-Americans from Shane Green to Steve DeLeese to come up, and we hope to get some more to add on to the list. And Prince Anderson.
Coach, obviously, with your years coaching here, huge family of athletes. Everybody is just inspiring, and obviously, what the guys were saying today, the families had a positive effect on them.
Yeah, we don't carry a large number team. We have a small knit team, and everyone's pretty much in tune with everyone. We all practice at the same time. We all may eat lunch at the same time. They all may go to study hall at the same time. So that forms a great camaraderie amongst them, and a great family atmosphere.
And even the guys that came before them.
Yeah, so even the guys came before them, they're now working at Coppin State, always come back and challenge them to be better than they were back then, and they have responded to the challenge.
How important is it to have a dynamic like that here at Coppin State?
Very important, because it helps teach the dynamic and the dynamic of the history of Coppin State track and field. It helps them remember that, okay, you got to get to that level where we've been, and you got to challenge that. We got to make this time. You got to break this record. And those guys that's still around, that been graduated and eligibility done, and they gone on and have family, kids, always come back. There's always somebody who used to run track for Coppin State that always comes to practice.
Obviously, next week it's on, Coach. And
On and pop.
what else do you say about the guys that hasn't been said?
Hey man, hey, just go out there, give 120%, and leave everything on the track and hold no regrets.
That is it, everybody. Coach Hicks, thanks so much for talking with us. Hopefully next week we'll be able to talk with you guys about some All-Americans.
Love that. Sound great.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Take care.